Hello and welcome to The Entrepreneurial Musician. My name is Andrew Hitz. I am your host, and this is a TEM short in reaction to the interview that I did with my former Boston Brass and current Pedal Note Media colleague, Lance LeDuc. When I went back and listened to Lance's interview, it's just awesome. I'm so thankful that he did it, and we went long, but that's because it was high protein what he was giving to us, so it was great. So I just let him keep going. But the thing that really struck me about Lance and about Lance's story and about Lance's approach to business goes hand in hand with a book that I just read last week, which is The Dip by Seth Godin, which I can't believe that I had not read this beforehand. And as a quick plug on Audible, which is something that I swear by, I've got the Pro plan, and I get no money from them. There's no affiliate link. There's no nothing. But I have a book a month from them for $15, and I usually end up buying extra credits. I'm just plowing through business books. I'm loving it. But The Dip is only $7.95, and it is 92 minutes long if you listen to it on Audible. And it's a life-changing book. The subtitle is A Little Book That Teaches You When to Quit, and then in parentheses, and when to stick. And what I really like, and I'm not going to attempt to inarticulately summarize Seth's book. You have to read it. If you're in the music business, especially in a competitive business like that, it is an absolute must-read. But one of the things I really like is that Seth says that the advice you should never quit is some of the worst advice that any human being could ever receive about anything, and he tells you that if you are on a cul-de-sac, as he calls it, which means that you're in some sort of a job, project, whatever that is going nowhere. Or if you're on a cliff, meaning something that's about to not exist involuntarily, that you need to quit, and you need to quit immediately, and not think about it, and not talk about it, and all of that stuff. And what I was very impressed with Lance's story, I was very impressed by the fact that when he did all of this work to get into the Air Force Band, and he realized that for him, and he was very specific to point out that this was for him, that he spent all this time getting in, and he didn't spend a single minute, in his own words, asking people what the actual job was like. And he's a euphonium player. There's limited performance opportunities unless you create your own, hint, hint, which he's obviously done a number of times at this point. But there's limited ensembles that already exist that you can make a living playing in the euphonium in. And so he got into the Air Force Band, and he realized that for him it was a cul-de-sac, and so he bailed on the Air Force Band, which is absolutely insane when you are a euphonium player. He earned it. He's one of the best musicians in the world, one of the best that I've ever played with. But winning an audition, there's a lot more than just being a good musician. You got to audition well. You have to have the cards have to fall right, etc. And there are such a limited number of euphonium jobs that basically, out of context, you're an idiot. Sorry, Lance, not really. You're an idiot to quit something like the Air Force Band. He took a massive pay cut, and you heard his story, and then he joined the River City Brass Band, which was a great outlet for him for a while. And then just for him, for a host of reasons, which are not just musical, including family and personal, etc., the River City Brass Band became a cul-de-sac for Lance. And again, he had the courage to bail on that, and he bailed on that via auditioning for Boston Brass on an instrument that he did not play 6 months earlier. Kind of lets you know the kind of person that you're dealing with here. When he decides something's going to happen, he makes it happen, and he doesn't look for excuses. And then he decided after a good run in a number of years, about 7 years, that Boston Brass was a cul-de-sac, and he wanted to be off the road, and he wanted to be around his son more. And there was again a long list of reasons. When I was younger, I thought that most things were black and white, and it turns out that absolutely nothing is, and in life is basically. So he decided that was a cul-de-sac, and again he had the courage to go ahead and to bail, to quit. and now he's on to the next phase, which he's virtually created a full-time position for himself at Carnegie Mellon, doing a wide range of things, not just teaching euphonium. And I was just struck that he has had the courage multiple times to quit when he has identified that he is on a cul-de-sac. And that can be very scary, especially that first one. It takes a lot of courage to quit the Air Force Band when you're a euphonium player. It takes a lot of courage to quit an orchestra when you have already won the audition, which just involves so much work and luck combined, coming together to form a winning audition. And he had the courage to do that, and that is what has led to Lance's career having so much impact, I think, on so many people, is that he has not been afraid to pull the trigger on these things, and so that was what I really was. What I was taken aback by in Lance's story, and obviously I know most of it since we are partners, but the ability to first of all identify that he was on a cul-de-sac, and then the ability to have the lack of fear of the unknown, which I think holds more human beings back from more things than anything, just across everything, business, personal, everything, then to be absent of fear. At least in the decision-making process, ultimately, to then have the courage to go ahead and pull the trigger over and over and over again. And for all I know, since I started taping this, Lance has decided that Pedal Note Media is a cul-de-sac, and maybe he's already quit. I hope not, but I also don't think that we're going to be doing this forever, because you never know. It's always assessing. So those are my thoughts on Lance LeDuc's interview for The Entrepreneurial Musician. And thank you so much. We will see you for the next episode, which is going to be Canadian jazz pianist Ron Davis, who is a former lawyer and holds a PhD in French, and used to be a French professor at the University of Toronto, and then quit all of it because he decided that he wanted to become a full-time jazz pianist. He has a fascinating story, and I'm really looking forward to the interview. You've been listening to The Entrepreneurial Musician with Andrew Hitz on the Pedal Note Media Podcast Network. If you would like to help support the podcast in order to make more episodes like this one possible, please visit pedalnotemedia.com/donate for more details. You can sign up for my monthly newsletter and find my blog at andrewhitz.com. You can also find me at facebook.com/hitztuba, and I'm at hitztuba on Twitter. The Entrepreneurial Musician is produced by Austin Boyer and Buddy Deschler of the Fredericksburg Brass Institute. Executive producer is Andrew Hitz. The theme music was performed by Ben Barron, Rich Kelly, Daniel Lapel, and Andrew Hitz. This has been a presentation of the Pedal Note Media Podcast Network.